The Discovery is directed by Charlie McDowell and written by Charlie McDowell with Justin Lather, and it stars Jason Segel, Rooney Mara, and Robert Redford in a world where the afterlife has been scientifically proven. Robert Redford plays a scientist who has found out that our souls move to a different plane of existence after we die. Due to this discovery, the suicide rate has spiked tremendously because people are all trying to get there to the afterlife. And we have Jason Segel playing a neurologist who's also the son of this scientist who's proved the afterlife is real, and he meets Rooney Mara on a ferry. They are both going into this remote island where their paths will eventually cross once more. I was immediately hooked when I saw the trailers for this film. They were going somewhere on a subject that I did not see before, and the way they tackled this subject is indeed very interesting. Rooney Mara and Jason Segel are both great in this film. They are tremendously interesting as characters, and they are both great as performance. In fact, Jason Segel in this film is a revelation. This is the best performance I have seen of his. He plays his character very subtly most of the time, but you can see that this guy has something weighing on him. He's a very tortured soul, and his motivations are all not that clear until the ending of the second act, which causes some problems for the film that I'll talk about eventually. Rooney Mara is great in everything she does, and once again, she is that great here. Her character is very quirky, and her character allows the movie to be very quirky at some points due to that. She's also very tortured in a different way, and you start to realize that again towards the ending of the second act, which again causes some problems. But these characters share great chemistry, these characters are tremendously interesting, and you're always wanting to know more about them, wanting to know more about their motivations, and on a certain level that works well for the movie because it keeps you hooked. At the same time, it's not the best way to convey emotion from characters, because while they are interesting, they also feel very distant, and in this situation you would want to feel as close to people as you possibly can. Robert Redford has created an institute for people to seek refuge, and throughout this film, in most scenes, you always have television broadcasts about motivating people to keep themselves alive, to not kill themselves just to get there. And you have some backstories that really feed into that. You have some backstories that keep you hooked because of excellent world building that they have. The cinematography in this film is excellent, and it proves why symbolism is great in film and so important, and visual storytelling is important. This film has not many strong colors. This movie almost exclusively plays with colors through the clothes that our characters are wearing. And while you don't get many colors, this film also doesn't feature many shadows. There's always a light in every shot of this film, and again, it portrays beautiful, beautiful symbolism. The biggest problem I have with The Discovery is that for the most part of this film, you are actually trying to think what this movie is truly about. What is the true meaning of this story? What they are trying to portray through this story? Because it's not just going to be about the afterlife as being scientifically proven. And that's it. Jason Segel and the rest of the characters in this movie are trying to find out what is happening in the afterlife, and for that they kidnapped a corpse. And this investigation becomes very, very interesting, and that is the hook truly of this film. I'm not going to spoil you, but once you truly find out what they are seeing, once they find out what is truly happening in the afterlife, it didn't work for me. Then at the beginning of the third act, something happens. And this something completely changed my views on the film. Throughout the film, it will be hard to not notice how the style of directing and editing changes. And this happens a lot. And I did not like it at all. It didn't work for me at all. In fact, at some points it really took me out of the movie. And then that something happens in the beginning of the third act, and I started thinking about the film, and it works beautifully. What happens near the end of the film, and once you start understanding what these characters are doing and what is happening to them and where they are, and it becomes again beautiful symbolism and a beautiful allegory, and it proposes you questions that it doesn't answer, nor does it need to answer. And because of that, this is one of those movies that really warrants a second, third, fourth, fifth, viewing, and you will be more than pleased to watch this movie because it is captivating, it is charismatic, it has a vision to it that is very, very singular in the directing, in the cinematography. Even the soundtrack says a lot about this film. After watching this film though, I do think that it's not for everyone. This is not one of those movies that will give you all the answers. Even the last shot of the film proposes even more questions, and they don't resolve every single plot thread that is happening, but that's the intention. They do not want to resolve every single plot thread, and if they would want to resolve every single plot thread, it would actually become a very boring movie. I hear a lot of people are complaining about the pacing of this film, that is very slow. It's a slow burner. Yeah, it is, but that's the way it should be. This is not supposed to be an action movie, a fast-paced movie. This is a movie that you need to think about, and the dialogue, holy crap, the dialogue, I'm not going to say it's the best written dialogue ever, but the dialogue is extremely important for this film, and for you to understand it and like it, even after what happens in the beginning of the third act, and once you find out what's truly happening, what everything truly meant, that's how it's supposed to be. This is not a movie that will spoon feed you. This is a movie that makes you think. This is a movie that is intriguing in its world, in its characters motivations, and I really, truly enjoy this film the more I think about it. The Discovery looks beautiful. It has a beautiful meaning onto itself. I really want to watch this movie again, and I absolutely recommend it to you. The Discovery is absolutely a collector's item. What did you think of The Discovery, my beautiful geekies? Did you like it? Did you not? What is your most anticipated Netflix original movie coming up this year? Let me know that in the comments below, and also go to the description to join the beautiful Geeky Community Facebook group. You can meet many other geekies and strike in many engaging conversations. There are also links for my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and you can use those to stalk me on the internet. Thank you so much for watching, my beautiful geekies. You guys are the freaking best, and tomorrow I'll have my review for the first season of Legion. So until tomorrow, you stay beautiful and you stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and the bell so we can be geeky united!